Hi, welcome to Thriving in Higher Education. I am Dr. Yvette Myrick, but please call me Yvette.
And I'm Dr. Estelle Young, but please call me Estelle.
So that was great. If you had a chance to watch the episode that we did with about research, um, thank you for doing that and watching episodes. So today we're going to talk about some tips with the research focus. We're just going to share a couple of tips with you, and Estelle and I picked out some of our favorite tips in the book. So, Estelle, you want to talk about your tip that you selected?
Sure. So I guess I want to preface it by saying that I was a faculty member, but I was never successful at publishing in peer-reviewed journals. Um, but if I had known these research tips, I think I would have had a much better chance of being successful. So I'm really excited to share a couple of those. Our book has 5 different tips, plus we have some spotlight interviews of people who talk about their own strategies. But the tip I'd like to share with you is that when I was a faculty member, new faculty member, I set out Friday all day as my research day. But inevitably, there'd be a meeting or maybe I wasn't feeling well that day or something. But, so your whole, every egg in your research basket was on that one day. And this tip um, says don't do it that way. Don't do just one, set aside one day. Do an hour every day, every day. And what that does 3 things for you. So you're repeating engagement with your research multiple times a week, 5 times a week. And by doing that, instead of it getting lodged in your short-term memory, it's going to get lodged in your longer-term memory. So that's one really powerful reason to do it. And the second really powerful reason to do it is that my friend Janet Davis, is one of our spotlights, upcoming spotlights, says that research has 3 parts. It has data collection, writing, and reflection. And that daily interaction with your research, and it could just be flipping through your notes. That daily interaction is your opportunity for reflection. And then the third thing is that because you're engaged with that research, with your topic every single day, um, when you leave after that hour, maybe you're in the grocery store, maybe you're walking across campus, that research is on the tip of your mind, and so something might remind you of it, and so you turn it from something where on Fridays you might not think of it at all to every day you're thinking about it multiple times a day. And then finally, the advantage is sometimes you actually enjoy it so much when you started that day that instead of leaving it at an hour, you decide to go and do more, spend more research time. So it's got a ton of advantages, makes it more joyful instead of the dreaded Friday. So that's why I wanted to share that tip with you.
Mhm.
Yvette, do you have a tip?
Sure. And I just want to follow up on some of the things you said. So I'm one of the people in higher education that really don't like doing a lot of research. I did it for my dissertation. I was like, oh my God, once I finish that, that's about all the research I want to do in my lifetime. But in higher education, I realized the importance of research. I realized how that can really help with decision making as you look at what's working and what's not working. Like we had talked to Dr. Phyllis Stone about evidence-based research and things that you need, and they need that for publications, as Estelle mentioned, the importance of research to be published, your daily job, if you're looking at retention, completion, students, what's working, what's not working, if you're doing surveys, questionnaires. So in higher education, I realized the importance of research more and more. And in our careers, you're not going to love everything that you do, but if you realize the importance of it and how they can help you make informed decisions, I think that's a big help. So when Estelle was talking about putting aside time in your schedule, I would have to do that. I would have to put aside the time in my schedule and realize the importance of that because it is something that's needed. It's not going away. And a lot more grants and things like that are asking for evidence based research as far as giving money. So, money, careers, job, research is really important. And I just want to mention so, the area of research in our book is chapter 5, where it talks about research focus. And we're talking about the 5 tips for advancing your research agenda. So, yeah, so back to, I just want to bring that up. My tip that I selected, one of my favorite tips is tip number 3. It says seek a senior faculty co author and mentor. And that's so important. As Estelle mentioned, a lot of times, we have to work on being published, peer-reviewed journals. And if you look at a lot of the articles, a lot of them have 2 or 3 different authors on those articles. A lot of people, they work with someone either at a college or they get a colleague, either one is assigned to you, or you can just meet someone at your college and say, hey, let's write an article together. Doesn't have to be somebody that a college assigned to you to be your mentor. True, in a lot of cases, they do want to match you up with a mentor because they realize that's a great collaboration. Someone who is a senior faculty mentoring someone who's new, but you don't have to be a formal mentor. You can mentor informally on your own. So if you find someone you connect with at a meeting or collaboration that you've done before in the past and say, hey, we both have this interest in first generation students. Let's write an article together or let's co-author or something like that if you have a shared interest with someone. So I think that's a great tip to have is don't try to do it on your own. And that's for almost anything in life. I tell people that several times. Don't try to do anything on your own if you don't have to. It's not just with um, research. It could be planning a conference, an event, collaboration. And this is just another way. That's why I like the tip where you use your resources in your support system. So if it's in research, if it's in writing a book, like Estelle and I collaborate on a lot of projects together, not just on things related to research, but collaborate with someone and get that support system. So I like that tip in the book where a senior faculty, maybe they published before and they know all the steps. They know what you have to do, how to apply, how to submit your article to that particular journal. Um, what are the steps needed? What is that journal looking for as far as how they got approved? And that could take away a whole year because I don't know all the steps for everything, but sometimes a person who's done it and been successful can help you out in that way. So that's why I like that tip is to find someone else at your college or outside your college where you can co-author on an article or research or something like that to write the article. So if you're going to do research, I think it's great to collaborate with someone else on the research. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us for today's tips on furthering your research agenda. And you know, it's not publish or perish because your research agenda is going to be furthered. So we believe in you.
I believe in you. And don't forget, you can find out more information and tips in our book, Thriving Higher Education Careers. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye.